The NBC5 Chicago investigative team tonight has learned that a man authorities consider dangerous is being released from custody by a federal judge here in Chicago.
So I'm sure you remember this last month. A man with a knife to his throat got into the Dirksen Federal Building, and that caused a day-long lockdown at the building. It's that man who's now being released. Our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy joining us with late details and a story we want to warn you is very graphic and it might be disturbing to you. Chuck?
Stephen, Marion, this is the man who was accused of waging a 9-hour standoff with police and federal agents last month, bringing Lady Justice to her knees at U.S. District Court in Chicago and putting the Dirksen building on lockdown. Tonight, even though the feds say 38-year-old Mario Santoyo is an ongoing public safety threat, he is being freed by a federal judge whose courtroom was one of those affected last July 22nd. When dozens of special weapons tactical teams deployed here a month ago, this is what they were dealing with. 38-year-old Mario Santoyo with a knife to his neck, carrying a bag they feared might contain a bomb. After hours of seeking his surrender, officers tased Santoyo and took him into custody and to the hospital. According to these photos obtained tonight by NBC5 Investigates, Santoyo wrote the word "help" on the Northwestern emergency room wall in his own blood. Authorities say blood smeared after he stabbed his neck with the nurse call button and tried to strangle himself with the ER cord. In an exclusive interview this week, new U.S. Attorney Andrew Boutros said he personally ordered felony charges against Santoyo versus lesser misdemeanor counts because of the seriousness of the behavior.
That individual brought the wheels of justice to a grinding halt on that day because the entire building had to be evacuated for various safety reasons, to it including the fact that there was a duffel bag that was unclear what was in it. And so obviously when people bring have that type of impact, it's important to send a message that that type of criminal activity won't be tolerated.
But tonight there is a different message from District Judge Mary Rowland, who has ordered Santoyo's immediate release from the federal lockup in Chicago, saying he is not a threat to others but possibly himself. Santoro, who has an arrest record dating back more than 10 years, officials citing assault, drug violations, and other charges, will now be on electronic monitoring and in the custody of his sister, who was in court for this afternoon's hearing but declined comment. The judge's actions spoke a disregard for this motion by prosecutors, who stated there are no combination of conditions that can assure that the defendant will not pose a serious risk of danger to the community, and he should be detained.
We had bomb squads that had to come in, Chuck. We had negotiators that had to come in. We had a SWAT team that had to come in. I mean, this was a high, intense moment because it was unclear what was happening.
Prosecutors and Santoyo's attorneys say that he never directly threatened to hurt anyone that day in the lobby of the federal building. However, while in the ER, investigators say it took 8 hospital security guards to subdue a combative Santoyo and 3 injections of a sedative. Judge Mary Rowland did put out a few other restrictions on Santoyo during his release, including mental health treatment and an order that he not come near that federal building. Marion?
Thanks so much for that update, Chuck.